Not that long ago, no one in our family knew where our ancestors came from. An unfortunate byproduct of the atrocity that was the African slave trade, you could say. Then, Ancestry came a call.
I just put in the name of my parents and my grandparents, and I was getting all these leaves, and I was going back generation after generation. You start to see documents.
That's us in one of their commercials. A detailed DNA analysis followed, and what it revealed is that we are more Nigerian than anything else. Wow. Roots. Have you ever wondered how much of who you are is determined by where you and your ancestors came from? Well, we did. So we headed to Nigeria, and what we found was eye-opening.
We are Jamil and Idries, twin brothers, medical doctors, world travelers. Our passion? We wander the globe in search of the people, the places, and the things that uniquely affect health, wellness, the human body, and the human condition. Double trouble? Nah. Double delightful, double insightful, double informative, double quirky? Yeah, we'd like to think so. Renaissance men? Yeah, we'd like to think so. After all, you never know where we're going to end up next. This is our journey. This is the Globe on Call.
Twins from Hyde Park. They've done everything together since birth, from college to med school to the most recent season of The Amazing Race.
Idries and Jamil, twins, both doctors.
Now, being twins has always been a big part of our identity. But it wasn't until Nigeria that we realized just how big a part of our identity it really is. Turns out Nigerians have lots of twins, and Igbo-Ora, a sleepy little village in southern Nigeria, holds the title Twin Capital of the World, boasting more twins per capita than anywhere else. So naturally we wanted to visit Igbo-Ora and learn more. But first we made a brief stop in the town of Ikaini in Babcock University to learn more about the phenomenon of twinning in Nigeria.
Babcock University's Benjamin S. Carson School of Medicine is named after school benefactor, neurosurgeon, and former U.S. presidential candidate Ben Carson. While there, we sat down with Drs. Imaralu, Olaye, and Obamafi, all experts on the subject of twinning in Nigeria.
Prevalence as high as 1 in every 16 deliveries.
1 in 16 deliveries.
1 in every 16. Wow. Everybody, every family in those two towns has a twin.
Yeah.
So every person there has a brother, a sister, or a cousin who is a twin.
Yeah.
When we look at the common denominator in this area, we find out that they are farmers. They take a lot of fresh yam.
For decades, people in Nigeria have linked twinning to the consumption of yams. This led researchers to investigate this connection.
One of them actually came up with a report of that they extracted gonadotropin-like substance from yam.
Gonadotropin-like substance. That makes sense. In obstetrics, we frequently use gonadotropins to stimulate ovulation in infertility patients. Gonadotropins frequently cause women to release multiple eggs, increasing the likelihood that they will give birth to multiples. But is it all just yams and cassava, or are other factors at play as well?
Twinning also is high among you people, it's highest among blacks.
You people? Wait a minute. He's right though. Some estimates indicate that African Americans are almost 2 times more likely than non-African Americans to have twins. And our mom surely was not a fan of yams or cassava, and yet here we are.
Okay, so yams, cassava, and a genetic predisposition. What else do the good doctors think might be responsible for Nigeria's high rate of twins?
It's been speculated that black men have high sex drive.
Oh my. So what does high sex drive have to do with anything? Well, high sex drive leads to a higher frequency of intercourse. More intercourse increases the likelihood of multiple eggs being fertilized by multiple sperm. The concept? It's called superfecundation. But is it a legit explanation here?
I have a doctor and the father has 2 wives.
Yeah.
Each of the wives have twins twice.
Alright, you go boy. Sounds legit to us. So yams, cassava, genetics, and lots of sex. Now of course before leaving we had to ask the obvious question. Did any of the doctors themselves have twins?
I have twins, cousins that are twins, grandparents that are grandparents and aunties that are twins.
Yeah.
So it just goes on like that.
Do you want more twins?
No.
Well, excuse me. We think twins are pretty damn awesome. To each his or her own, I guess. And with that, we headed out for Igbo-Ora.
Normally everywhere we go, people do a double take. But not in Igbo-Ora, where twins are literally everywhere. While twins may be commonplace here though, their arrival is still cause for celebration, as Nigerians believe that the birth of twins represents a blessing for the entire community.
So when twins are born, a party ensues, and that means that everybody, including the camera-toting strangers from America, are invited to celebrate. Ain't no party like an Igbo-Ora party, cause an Igbo-Ora party don't stop, hey. Well, they don't stop until the sun sets, that is.
The following morning, we got up bright and early with the chickens. Rested, energized, and curious, we hit the streets of Igbo-Ora in search of one of the village's renowned herbalists, a man who has spent over 50 years caring for pregnant women and helping them to deliver their babies.
We sat down with him and two of his newest patients. Yep, you guessed it. Not long before our arrival, he had helped a local woman to deliver twins. So of course we had to ask him what he thought was responsible for Nigeria's high rate of twinning.
First of all, it's an act of God. Then secondly, most likely because of what the forefathers do eat. That is why. And he attributed one of those foods to a soup called ilasa. Ilasa is made from okra leaves. They do sacrifices also.
Ilasa soup, a Nigerian staple made of locust beans, melons, peppers, and an okra leaf that research has shown may act like an aphrodisiac. Well, whether it was the ceremonial spilling of blood during a traditional animal sacrifice to honor the gods and the ancestors, or simply the consumption of Ilasa soup, these little cuties are here and now, and in the coming days there will be ceremonies meant to mark their arrival.
One ceremony meant to celebrate the arrival of all newborns in Nigeria is the naming ceremony. It is here that babies are officially introduced to the community and given their names. It is also here that they're given lots and lots of cash, money, and communal love.
Naming ceremonies are frequently presided over by babalawos, or local spiritual guides. So we figured before leaving Igbo-Ora, we'd ask a babalawo what he thought was responsible for Nigeria's high rate of twinning.
Alright, I know what you're thinking. We are way past the normal naming ceremony age. But here in Nigeria, twins are revered. So before answering our questions about why Nigeria has so many twins, the Babalawo prayed for us and he even gave us both new traditional Nigerian names. He also asked that the gods protect us and make us successful in our future endeavors.
Oh, and about that whole twinning thing, well, after consulting with the gods, his answer was simple.
The reason why there are more twins in Igbo-Ora is because the oracle commanded it to be so.
There you have it. Simply put, there are so many twins in Igbo-Ora because the gods commanded that it be so. So did we solve the mystery of Igbo-Ora's high rate of twinning? Maybe. Yams, cassava, genetics, high male sex drive and superfecundation, okra leaves, animal sacrifices, or simply the will of the gods, who knows? But there is no denying the fact that in Igbo-Ora, there are twins everywhere.
After leaving Igbo-Ora, we had one final stop to make on our journey of self-discovery, the Badagry slave village in Barufu Island. In Badagry, 40 or more slaves were packed into tiny 10x10 cells before their final journey to the New World. From there, surviving slaves were taken across a small lagoon to Barufu Island, where they were then marched by foot along a path to the Atlantic Ocean coastline, where slave ships awaited. As we walked this path, we wondered why more slaves didn't resist their fate. The answer? The attenuation well. It is here that thirsty slaves were given water that contained sedatives derived from plants. Their compliance then ensured, they cooperatively finished their march.
As we reached the point of no return, a sign more appropriately read, Point of No Return, Journey to the Unknown Destination. As we stood at the point of no return, sadness, fear, and despair were thick in the humid afternoon air. Thoughts of who I am today, and of who I could have been had things only been different, rested heavily upon my shoulders. But nonetheless, in a strange way, standing there, I felt like I had righted a wrong, and as if I had returned home. As we walked back from the point of no return, I kind of felt like we had come full circle. I learned a little bit about my heritage, where my people come from, and I definitely learned that when people ask us do twins run in the family, I can say, they most certainly do.